Greetings, dear subscribers and casual listeners of my channel. The Burrow is not only home to all the Weasley family members, but also to Harry himself. The warm atmosphere of this place always created a sense of safety and protection throughout all the parts of the movie. However, as we know, in the film The Half-Blood Prince, the Burrow meets its tragic end and is burned down by the Death Eaters. Almost nothing is left of the house. It is important to clarify that the Burrow burns exclusively in the movie version of The Half-Blood Prince, as this event is not described in the book. In the book, the house survives the terror of Voldemort. One possible explanation is that the Burrow is well hidden with protective or masking charms to ensure no enemies can find it. Another noteworthy fact is that, judging by the subsequent events of the film, the Burrow was fully restored, although it is never explained how it was repaired. It seems as though the events of that terrible night are forgotten, and no one remembers that the Burrow was almost burned to the ground. So, why did the filmmakers feel the need to burn the Burrow? Why did it seem so important to them? There is an interesting theory that this scene was created specifically for Helena Bonham Carter, the actress who played Bellatrix Lestrange. The filmmakers wanted to give Bella more screen time and wrote this episode to highlight Voldemort's most loyal Death Eater. This is all well and good, but why disrupt the canon and include events that are not in the book? Is there a deeper meaning to the destruction of the Burrow? Yes, there is, as the filmmakers likely aimed to impact the emotional state of the viewers in some way. It is important to understand that films and books have different tools and methods for conveying their main ideas to the audience. Each form has its own tactics, and what works in one medium may be completely ineffective in the other. The later Harry Potter books create a special tense atmosphere, conveying that terrible events begin to happen after Voldemort's return. The reader is immersed in a state of tension and anxiety thanks to the descriptions provided by the book. If we look at the films, they also depict a lot of dark tones, and the film's mood clearly conveys a sense of anxiety and ambiguity. However, the film still falls short compared to the book in many aspects, which led to the decision to create a striking episode that would emotionally resonate with most viewers. The choice fell on the Burrow, the Weasley family home. By destroying this warm, familiar, and beloved place, the filmmakers effectively conveyed that dark and challenging times were coming in the Harry Potter world, where even the safest place could be destroyed by the enemy. The Burrow was always a refuge not only for the Weasleys, but also for Harry, where he felt at home and safe. A destroyed Burrow feels like the loss of a familiar support system, a sense of the ground slipping from under your feet, an understanding that now even the safest place is not immune to the evil that seeks to destroy everything around. It's like a blow to the head. We are suddenly made to realize that Voldemort's return is so real that evil has already managed to sneak up on the very place you thought it could never reach, and now there is no safe place left. The destruction of the Burrow is a particular tool the filmmakers used to shock the audience and convey the painful understanding that dark times are imminent. It was abrupt and thus very painful. And it worked. For many, this was a very sorrowful moment in the story. As we know, fans generally do not like deviations from the canon, but in this case, it seems the filmmakers managed to express and convey the overall mood of anxiety in the magical world through certain images. Now that we have discussed why the filmmakers of Harry Potter decided to destroy the Weasley house in The Half-Blood Prince, let's pay attention to other moments that were added to the films. It is important to note that not all changes and additions in film adaptations are perceived negatively. Some scenes that were not in the books enrich the story and give viewers unforgettable emotions. Scene 1. Hanging out in the Gryffindor Tower Boys' dormitory. In one of the scenes from the third movie, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, we see Harry, Ron, Neville, Seamus, and Dean spending time in the boys' dormitory of the Gryffindor Tower. Evening is approaching, and the young wizards are gathering before bed. The atmosphere is full of laughter and joy. The boys decide to try some magical candies that make the sounds of various animals. Ron is the first to try a candy. He takes one, puts it in his mouth, and suddenly lets out a loud roar resembling a lion. Neville laughs and imitates him, trying to produce elephant sounds. Harry and Dean join in the fun, joking and teasing each other. The room fills with noise, and for a few minutes their antics turn the dormitory into a real zoo. Seamus, with a tie wrapped around his head, takes a candy and makes monkey sounds. His antics cause a storm of laughter from the others. However, the main surprise of the evening is Harry's candy. When he tries it, steam suddenly starts coming out of his ears. The boys burst into laughter. It's a moment of pure fun and carefree joy. This scene creates a special feeling of coziness and camaraderie. It shows that Hogwarts is not just a place for studying, but also a home for these boys. Here, they can be themselves, play, laugh, and simply enjoy each other's company. In these moments, the magical world seems even more alive and real. This scene is also important because it demonstrates how teenagers behave in real life. They fool around, joke with each other, and take joy in the little things. These moments make their life at Hogwarts more complete and realistic. After all, the School of Magic is not just lessons and homework, but also ordinary teenage pranks. Moreover, this scene emphasizes the friendship between the main characters. We see how Harry, Ron, and the other boys truly enjoy the time spent together. Their bond grows stronger through such shared moments. It makes their relationships more genuine and profound. Interestingly, such a scene is absent from the books. J.K. Rowling rarely focuses on such everyday moments. The movies, however, provide an opportunity to show the audience what daily life looks like for the wizards. And this scene is a great example of that approach. Alfonso Cuarón, the director of the third film, brought a special atmosphere to this adaptation. His attention to detail and desire to show Hogwarts as a living, breathing place deserve praise. Thanks to scenes like this, The Prisoner of Azkaban remains a favorite film for many fans. Scene 2. Harry and Hermione's dance. In the first part of The Deathly Hallows, there is one of the most touching scenes in the film, Harry and Hermione's dance. After infiltrating the Ministry of Magic, the atmosphere becomes oppressive. Harry, Ron, and Hermione are forced to hide, and their goals become blurred. Ron leaves his friends, leaving Harry and Hermione alone with their fears and doubts. At this moment, the viewers feel the complete despair that has engulfed the characters. Harry notices that Hermione is downcast. He approaches her, removes the Horcrux locket from her neck, and throws it aside. This action symbolizes a temporary release from the weight of their mission. They start to dance. Music fills the empty room, and for a few moments, the whole world around them disappears. Harry and Hermione's dance is a moment of pure emotional release. Smiles appear on their faces, so rare in these difficult times. They laugh and fool around, forgetting all their troubles. It's an incredibly touching scene, showing their deep connection and friendship. The musical accompaniment plays a crucial role. The song "O Children" by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds perfectly underscores the mood of the scene. Its melody and lyrics create a feeling of hope and solace. This scene is also important for the viewers. Seeing the genuine smiles on Harry and Hermione's faces brings joy and relief. Viewers feel that even in the darkest times, there is room for light and joy. T. This dance reminds us that friendship and love can give strength to continue fighting despite all difficulties. Interestingly, this scene was not in the book. In the original story, J.K. Rowling did not describe this moment. However, the film allows viewers to see the depth of the relationship between Harry and Hermione. Their dance is not just a release, but a symbol of their strong friendship and mutual support. The scene was carefully thought out by director David Yates. He understood how important it was to show this side of the characters to the audience. Yates wanted viewers to see that Harry and Hermione are not only warriors, but also ordinary people with ordinary feelings. This scene adds depth and humanity to the film. Harry and Hermione dance without words. Their movements speak for themselves. They express all those emotions that are hard to convey with words: fear, hope, love, and support. At this moment, they are simply friends who found a way to comfort each other. The scene shows that even in the hardest times, you can find moments of joy. Scene 3. The true face of Severus Snape. In the movie Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, there is one scene that significantly differs from the book and reveals Severus Snape's character more deeply. After Severus regains consciousness in the Shrieking Shack, he immediately goes in search of Harry, Ron, and Hermione. He finds them near the Whomping Willow. At this moment, Lupin starts transforming into a werewolf, and the situation becomes dangerous. Snape, without hesitation, rushes to protect the students. He shields them with his body despite the threat. Werewolf Lupin growls and attacks, but Snape continues to stand between him and the children. This scene shows how ready he is to sacrifice himself for their safety. He takes the blow from Lupin, protecting his students. It's a moment of true heroism. In the book, such a scene does not exist. In the original story by J.K. Rowling, Snape remains unconscious and has no opportunity to prove himself. The film adds this crucial scene to showcase Snape's depth of character. He is not just a strict and harsh teacher, but also a person ready to do anything to protect the innocent. This moment adds layers to his character and evokes respect. The scene highlights Snape's determination. He doesn't think about his safety. In his eyes, there is only one goal: to protect the children. Even without a wand, he stands between them and danger, ready to sacrifice himself. This shows his true face, hidden behind a mask of coldness and strictness. Alan Rickman performed this scene magnificently. His acting conveys all the complexity and depth of the character. We see not only fear, but also iron will in his eyes. It's a moment when the viewers realize that Snape is not just a cruel teacher, but also a true hero. For the viewers, this scene became significant. It reveals Snape's true face, showing that behind the stern exterior is a person with a big heart. His willingness to sacrifice himself for the protection of others evokes respect and admiration. This scene changes the perception of the character and adds layers to him. Comparing it to the book makes this moment even more significant. In the book, Snape did not have a chance to show his bravery and selflessness in such a form. The film adds this important touch to his image. This director's decision adds depth to the story and allows viewers to see another side of Snape. This moment also shows how important his students are to Snape. He is ready to risk his life for their safety. This emphasizes his dedication to his duty and care for the children, despite his stern appearance. The werewolf scene shows that Snape is always ready to help, even if it is not always obvious. This scene also plays a crucial role in the plot's development. It adds tension and dynamics, showing that even in the most dangerous situations, there is always room for heroism. Snape becomes a key figure in this moment, and his actions influence the further development of the story. Scene 4. The Duel in the Great Hall. In the second part of The Deathly Hallows, there is a thrilling scene of a duel in the Great Hall of Hogwarts. Harry suddenly appears before everyone, openly challenging Severus Snape. The Great Hall holds its breath in anticipation. Snape finds himself in the spotlight, and the tension builds with every second. Minerva McGonagal, without hesitation, engages in a duel with Snape, protecting Harry. The scene is filled with magic and tension. Spells flash through the air, and the walls of the Great Hall tremble from the duelist's power. Minerva attacks decisively, and Snape, deflecting her blows, tries not to harm her. At one point, he discreetly disarms the Death Eaters standing behind him. This subtle but important moment hints that Snape is not on their side. In the book, this duel happens differently. In the original story by J.K. Rowling, the duel between Snape and McGonagal takes place in a corridor, and Harry is not present. This moment lacks the drama and scale that is present in the film. The adaptation enhances the emotional tension by placing Harry at the center of the action and making the scene more spectacular. Snape in the film acts cautiously and skillfully. He deflects McGonagal's spells directly at the Death Eaters, hinting at his true intentions. He strives to protect the students and colleagues despite his role as a double agent. This moment emphasizes his complex and multifaceted character. Viewers can see in this scene not just a duel, but a battle for truth and justice. Snape, despite his reputation, shows that he is ready to risk everything for the well-being of Hogwarts. His actions speak louder than words. He protects those he cares about, even if it's not always noticeable. This scene also intensifies the drama and tension leading up to the final battle. Harry, McGonagall, and Snape find themselves at the center of events, and each plays a role in defending the school. Viewers see that the battle for Hogwarts has already begun, and the stakes are higher than ever. Alan Rickman's performance in this scene is impressive. He masterfully conveys the inner conflict and determination of his character. Every gesture and look highlights the complexity of the situation Snape is in. This is not just a duel, but the culmination of his character's long journey. For Minerva McGonagal, this duel is also significant. She defends not only Harry, but also the honor of the school. Her determination and strength make her an outstanding character. The duel with Snape underscores her unwavering belief in the righteousness of her cause and her readiness to fight to the end. Harry becomes the catalyst for events in this scene. His appearance raises the spirits of everyone in the Great Hall. He is ready for the decisive battle and is not afraid to challenge the enemy. This scene showcases his leadership qualities and determination. Scene 5. Sirius Black's emotional outburst. In the movie Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, there is a scene where Sirius Black experiences a real emotional outburst. After long years spent in Azkaban, Sirius finally finds Pettigrew, the very traitor who sent him to prison and caused the death of his friends. In the Shrieking Shack, Sirius behaves extremely emotionally, almost madly, expressing his impatience and thirst for justice. Gary Oldman performed the role of Sirius brilliantly. His acting in this scene takes your breath away. Sirius's eyes are full of pain and anger, his voice trembling with tension. 12 years, he screams. 12 years I've waited for this moment. Oldman conveys the entire gamut of emotions, from despair to hatred. Viewers can feel every emotion, every drop of suffering. In the book by J.K. Rowling, Sirius behaves more restrainedly. He is still determined to punish Pettigrew, but his emotions are more controlled. In the novel, he says, "If you're going to tell them the whole story, get a move on, Remus. I've waited 12 years. I'm not going to wait much longer." This makes his character more restrained and calculating. The film, however, decided to show another side of Sirius. His long years in Azkaban left a deep mark on him, and the scene in the Shrieking Shack demonstrates the full weight of his experiences. Sirius in the film is a man on the brink of madness, exhausted and tormented, but unbroken. His emotional outburst shows how deeply he suffered all these years. This moment is crucial for understanding the character. Sirius is not just a vengeful man, he is a victim who went through hell and came out with one goal: to restore justice. His emotions are understandable and justified, and viewers can empathize with him. This adds depth to his character and makes him more complex. This scene also emphasizes the bond between Sirius and Harry. Seeing how much his godfather suffered, Harry begins to understand what Sirius went through. This strengthens their bond and adds emotional weight to their relationship. Harry sees Sirius not only as a vengeful person, but also as a suffering man who lost almost everything. Director Alfonso Cuarón uses this scene to show Sirius's inner world. The camera focuses on his face, highlighting every emotion. Dark lighting and tense music create an atmosphere that enhances the drama of the moment. This makes the scene one of the most memorable in the film. Sirius's emotional outburst also serves as an important turning point in the plot. It emphasizes the tension and drama leading to the final confrontation. Sirius, enraged and ready for anything, becomes the catalyst for subsequent events, pushing the plot towards its climax. Viewers see in Sirius not only a warrior, but also a man with deep wounds. This makes him more real and understandable. His pain and suffering resonate in the hearts of viewers, making him one of the most beloved characters in the series. Scene 7. Professor Slughorn's Little Miracle. In the 6th film, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, there is a touching scene featuring Professor Slughorn that adds depth to his character. It's the story of a little fish named Francis. Slughorn tells Harry about Lily Potter, Harry's mother, and her remarkable gift for transfiguration. One day, Lily gave him a fish created from a lily petal. Slughorn recalls this moment with clear emotional attachment. He tells how he once found an aquarium with a petal on his table, which transformed into a little fish before his eyes. He named it Francis and took care of it for a long time. This gift became a symbol of friendship and respect that Lily had for her teacher. Francis stayed with Slughorn until Lily's death. This story reveals another side of Slughorn. He is usually portrayed as a selfish and pragmatic person who cares primarily about his own benefit. But in this moment, we see his sentimentality and deep attachment to Lily. This little miracle became a symbol of lost friendship and regrets for him. The story of Francis the Fish also plays an important role in the plot. It helps Harry find a way to Slughorn's heart and gain his help. By telling this story, Slughorn shows his human side, allowing Harry to see him not just as a teacher, but as a person with feelings and experiences. This helps to establish a more trusting relationship between them. The scene with Francis emphasizes the importance of little things and memories. Lily, who has been dead for many years, still influences those who knew and loved her. By recounting the fish story, Slughorn shows how much Lily changed his life and how important her attention and care were to him. This adds an emotional layer to the story and characters. For Harry, this scene is also significant. He sees that his mother was not only a powerful witch, but also a kind, caring person who could create little miracles. This inspires Harry and strengthens his resolve in his fight against Voldemort. He understands that his mother left behind not only memories, but also a living legacy in the hearts of those who knew her. The scene with Francis also helps viewers better understand Slughorn. His emotions and memories make him a more multifaceted character. He becomes not just a teacher, but a person with deep feelings and inner conflicts. This makes him more real and evokes sympathy from the viewers. This story also emphasizes the theme of memory and loss that runs through the entire film. Francis the Fish symbolizes not only Lily's gift, but also the fact that even small acts can leave a deep impact on someone's life. By recalling Francis, Slughorn relives the pain and joy that Lily brought him. This makes his decision to help Harry more understandable and justified. The musical accompaniment in this scene also plays an important role. The quiet, melancholic melody enhances the sense of nostalgia and sadness that Slughorn feels. It helps viewers feel the same depth of emotion as the characters on screen. This makes the scene even more touching and memorable. Scene 8. Dance Lesson with McGonagal. In the film Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, there is a scene where Professor McGonagal conducts a dance lesson for the Gryffindors before the Yule Ball. She explains the importance of proper behavior at such a significant event and decides to demonstrate the basics of dancing. For this, she chooses Ron Weasley as her partner. Ron is clearly embarrassed and awkward. His face turns red, and his movements become clumsy and uncoordinated. The other students try to stifle their laughter, watching his attempts to follow McGonagal's instructions. The hall fills with quiet giggles and comments, adding a light and comedic touch to the scene. McGonagal, despite Ron's awkwardness, remains serious and focused. She patiently explains each step, showing the importance of being graceful and confident on the dance floor. This moment is not only educational, but also demonstrates her teaching mastery. She manages to maintain authority even when the situation becomes comical. Other students, such as Harry and Hermione, also react to the scene with smiles. Hermione tries to support Ron with her gaze, while Harry, despite his usual seriousness, can't help but smile. This moment shows their friendly relationships and ability to support each other in any situation. The dance lesson scene demonstrates that even in the magical world, there is room for ordinary school concerns and experiences. Students prepare for an important event, worry, and feel shy, just like any other teenagers. This makes them more relatable and understandable to the viewers, adding human warmth to their characters. McGonagal, by choosing Ron as her partner, also shows her wisdom and understanding. She knows that he is particularly shy and gives him the opportunity to overcome his fear of performing in front of others. This is an important moment for his personal growth and adds depth to his character. Viewers might wonder how other heads of houses taught their students to dance. For example, one can imagine how the strict Professor Snape would conduct such a lesson for the Slytherins. His approach would likely be much harsher and more disciplined, with an emphasis on precision and perfection. It would be interesting to see the contrast between his methods and McGonagal's style. Professor Flitwick, with his cheerful character, would probably turn the dance lesson for the Ravenclaws into a fun and engaging activity. He could use magic to make the learning process even more interesting and memorable. This approach would help the students relax and enjoy the process. As for Hufflepuff, Professor Sprout would likely emphasize cooperation and mutual support. Her lessons might include paired exercises and encouragement of helping each other, reflecting the spirit of this house. This would help the students feel more confident and comfortable. Thank you for watching till the end. I hope this means you found it interesting, and if so, don't forget to like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel.